Hello, my name is Angelika Soria and I'm a freshly graduated industrial engineer from Chankay University. And today I'm going to talk about why I think the best managers are the industrial engineers. And to support this, I have two points. One is being the engineer's perspective, and the second is the curricula that an industrial engineer student have in their bachelor degree. So let's start with the engineering's perspective. Ability to see the whole picture easily is a good engineer's attribute, because if there's a problem that needs to be solved, it is easier for an engineer to see the whole picture and then find that appropriate solution for it. And then we have a like having a knowledge on the technical side is a good attribute in the seeing the whole picture, because you can understand if it's like a monetary issue, if it's like an actual technical issue that needs to be fixed by like a technician, or for example, if we developed a new product and it needs to be decided if we should put it in the market or not, like it's in the idea process. And a manager who is an engineer, especially industrial engineer, can know the feasibility of the technical side of the project easier, and then the decision making upon that project will be much more faster, meaning more time to do other stuff. It can expand the company's abilities as well. Also, the analytical knowledge of an engineer is pretty good, because throughout our education we get lots of analytical courses, which I will explain further in the curricula part. But the analytical knowledge is making faster the analysis of the reports. The tools that we know also improves the, again, decision making, managerial functions, everything. And also being able to use the analytic tools in every step of our career is a good way of the analytical knowledge. So since we know how to do an Excel report, and we start from the beginning of our journey, like in when we're doing the educate, like when we're getting the education, we are made to use the data and then making an analysis out of it. So this is actually helps us know the tools to use, like for example Minitab, Excel, those type of tools. And from that we know how to use it, so we excel at those things. So in the further, if we get a report for a, let's say, financial report from a peer, then we can analyze, we can look through it, and we can ensure that the analysis is done correctly, not like wrongly, and the data that we are seeing in the report is actually true. This comes from the analytical knowledge of an engineer, since we're getting used to the analytics a little bit more. And if we move on to the widely spread curricula of an industrial engineer, we actually get three different type of courses throughout our whole bachelor degree. The first being the behavioral sciences courses, the second one being the analytical courses, and the third one being the most important, the practice courses with case studies or firms, like that. So if you start from the behavioral sciences courses, which helps the engineers to have, like, for example, a computer engineer doesn't know how to communicate through with the customers, with the peers, with the people, sometimes with the people in their team. I know that because I also study computer engineering, and I know how hard it is to actually communicate with the people in the that bachelor degree. So the behavioral sciences that we get in the industrial engineering curricula helps us how to know how to communicate with the customers, how to communicate with the team, how to communicate with the superiors. We get organizational structure courses. We are given the education on how to make an organizational culture at all. So this gives a difference in industrial engineering. Like, it gives us a different perspective than a regular engineer has. It widens our perspective. In the analytical courses, as I explained before, it is more like how to do the mathematics, how to do the physics. We even get a chemistry course, which we don't usually need in our analysis, but we get them. We get nanotechnology courses. We get the thermodynamics. We have this huge analytical courses as well to give us more perspective. It actually teaches us a language that we wouldn't be able to know if we didn't have that specialty. So it is really good opportunity as well. Now, the most important course type, which is practice courses, which helps us with the practicing while we're actually students. It helps us in two ways. The first one being the case studies, where the professors gives us the data that we needed, the everything, and like prepare the questionnaires and everything, and then we analyze that study and then finalize a report. And it's a detailed report. It takes a long time. It's like a hard process to finish, but in the end we submit it. We get points out of that, so it gives us a life experience. It gives us an experience that we will only achieve when we get into the jobs. But we have an opportunity to do that while we are still studying it. And also the second one being the firm cooperations, which actually they send us to the firms. We need to find the firms by ourselves, by our social sciences courses that they teach us. We communicate with them, we get an agreement between us, and we actually work with the company to finalize a report, which is actually a real life analysis as well. And then we find a solution to them, we find the problem, we find the root cause, find a solution, and then implement it to the company. To conclude my thoughts, conclude my mind, I believe the best managers are industrial engineers because of the engineer's perspective and the courses and the practice that we get during our bachelor degree. And this is why I think all the managers should be industrial engineers. Thank you.